what do you say in a text message to add value, right? Because it's got to be somewhat short and sweet, but what do you do there? Or is it, or are the text messages, do they enforce the other parts of the conversation? Help me understand that a little bit more.
Yeah, great question. So it's a lot like I was saying of what you would say on the phone. So a lot of the texts will be enforcing what's happening, because you might call somebody, leave a message, and a lot of people just don't return messages. So you might be following up the next week with a text message, and you definitely want to use a great CRM system to track all this. I mean, you could be doing this all in the Storm dialer. So a lot of text, man, it's just, don't overthink it. It could be, hey, John, it's AJ. I was just thinking of you guys today. If you ever need anything, let me know. Like, you don't even need a response. It's just you're popping up on their phone that you're there for them. And what I mentioned too when we started this conversation was it's going to help you with your prospecting. Imagine just taking all the expireds, all the for sale by owners you can turn into nurtures. And I consider any prospect a nurture who, if they say no to me to an appointment on the phone, I wrap up the call with, hey, no problem. Just out of curiosity, when you go to list your house this fall, do you have an agent in mind, or would you be open to interviewing me? So you just want confirmation that they're not going to list with their brother-in-law, their son or daughter, their neighbor. If they're already obligated to somebody where there's a tight relationship, like, it's just not worth the effort to try to like wedge yourself in there and potentially ruin, that family relationship, because, there would be grudges there. I would have a grudge if my parents didn't use me, and I hear that happening, which is unfortunate. But yeah, you take those people, if they're a nurture and that they will interview you in the future, and you put them on this campaign. So if you have no sphere, no past clients, and you just put your nurtures on a campaign like this, when they go to list in the fall, you will be the only agent following up at this type of level, and they're going to use you. It's just going to be easier to use you. You're going to show that you're professional because you did a nice job following up. And rather than just going to Google and trying to find an agent, they're just going to use you. And it's just like lights out. Like my goal as an agent was always to get 3 to 5 nurtures per day. So if I'm hitting 5 a day, that's 25 nurtures a week. That's 100 a month. In a year, that's 1,000 to 1,200 sellers who have said, yes, I will interview you when I go to sell my house. And if you've been doing what we're talking about with this VIP program, you are going to be listing homes consistently, and it's going to be easy. You're not going to be showing up for appointments and competing with 4 other people. You're going to be going there. They're only interviewing you, and you're going to be listing homes consistently 2 to 4 months after a year of implementing something like this. And the other objection, and this was me, I know the objections to this because this was me early on in my career, and I don't want people to make the same mistake, is I don't know anybody. I don't have any past clients yet. I can't do a client appreciation party. Well, what if you just called the 10 people that you do know in your area, maybe you just moved there, whatever, or you have 5 past clients, you call them, hey, I'm doing a VIP get together at XYZ restaurant this Friday. I'm only inviting a handful of people, and I'd really appreciate if you and your wife could make it. Well, now they show up and it's like 6 of you, and they feel honored because you invited them to this get together of a small select handful of people. So now you have a great time. You can build even a better relationship because you have more time to spend with just a couple of people versus 100 at a big client appreciation party, and they'll remember you forever for that. So just start small. One of my mentors, Brendan Burchard, he told me one time, he's like, most people aren't afraid of failure. They're afraid of being seen starting small. And it's so true. It's like with social media, or, if you're an agent and you're not doing video now, you're missing such a huge opportunity. And even when I started my YouTube channel, it was like, I felt like a complete idiot. Like, you get 5 views, you're like, nobody's watching this, and it didn't work. I look like a moron on video. And it wasn't that I was afraid I was going to fail. Like, if I failed, it's like, well, who cares? I failed. Like, I'd be disappointed in myself. But what you're really afraid of is being embarrassed. You're afraid that if you do a live video and there's 2 people watching and there's only 50 views total, and you see your friends and colleagues getting 1,000 views, you're like, oh, well, this is embarrassing. I'm afraid of being seen starting small. And I just want to kind of take that home to your client appreciation parties. Love on the people that are currently in your network, and you'll reap the rewards later. And it's a lot more fun. Expireds for sale by owners, I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for them. But it's a grind. And if you base your whole career, 10, 15 years on that, and that's your sole source of business, it's going to be a grind. Burnout's going to be high. And I love what you said when you opened up the call. It's like, this COVID-19 thing, like, how do we build a strong foundation? Seller prospecting is your strong foundation, married with the type of sphere marketing we're talking about. That's like the foundation to your business. You got to get good at seller prospecting, and you got to get good at loving on your people.